and two. Excuse me. Test 1 2 and 2. Test 1 2 and 2. Test 1 2 1 2. Test 1 2 and 2. All right. All right. So wow, guys, I got so many hits on my first two Deserts of Kharak videos, like a lot, like almost 1,000 combined between the first two, and a lot of likes. Really appreciate it. I know that Homeworld is a loved game, and a lot of people appreciate this one as well, like I do. But I didn't expect that kind of response. I mean, those numbers even blew away my StarCraft videos I've been doing the last few months on the various tournaments, which have done well with hundreds of hits. But these really did well. Just adjusting the sound here real quick. Oh, there I am. It's bright in my room. Also, the screen is bright. Now here we are with the mission list. Test. Sorry, just making sure it doesn't feedback or distort on me. So yeah, we speed ran the tutorial, did the first 3 missions on normal, not too much trouble. Definitely gonna go classic, aka hard, when I finish this, and also try and get all the achievements. But for my first time through, I figured normal is good. Now for now, this is a great option here. Sorry guys, adjusting the mic a little bit. Test. Try not to lean into it too much. Or maybe move it closer towards me. So yeah, I'm a StarCraft guy. I love real-time strategy games. I've been playing the old CNC games recently. This is a very different type of game with much different pacing. You have periods where you can kind of chill a little bit, just gather resources before you trigger events. The Command and Conquer Warcraft 1 and 2 / StarCraft 1 and 2 modeled, classic RTSs. Events are going to keep happening super fast, no matter what your plans are for your base and how many units you want, and so on and so forth. At very specific timings, there'll be things that you have to do or attacks on your base. Here, you trigger events in a lot of cases, and as long as you don't trigger it before you're ready, you can do your mining and exploration before you get there. But one thing that's cool is, with classic RTS like StarCraft games and Command and Conquer, no matter how many units you build and lose in the previous mission, you start the next mission with a default set of units and default buildings. But here, even though there are breaks where it goes to the sort of campaign screen with the map between missions, you're really starting geographically, physically, right where the previous one ended. And I think it's cool, a cool challenge. Even while playing on normal, it's a cool challenge to try and use what I have, which will make me, be a little bit more careful on unit composition and definitely on protecting my units. Now, in my second video, I did the Boneyard and Cape Wrath missions, and at the end of Cape Wrath, after I couldn't figure out how to move my carrier, the Kapisi, I ended up working towards me because I ended up attacking the enemy carrier from 2 sides, sort of by necessity, but I timed it so that you can watch part 2, where the Kapisi came from the west on sort of high ground, and my big fleet of the 3 main attack units, light attack, assault, vehicles and railguns came from the east, and so I didn't even have to take out too much of the bad guys' defenders of the escorts of their carrier, because I just my timing attack hit the carrier with plenty of units at the right time. And so I took it out fairly easily. That being said, I lost a lot of railguns, which are expensive and are for sure type of ships you want to protect at the end. And so I went back to Cape Wrath. And what's fun is the fleet persistence is whatever your most recent is on the difficulty level on the previous mission. So I went back into Cape Wrath to play the final sort of couple acts of that mission. And I think I was able to preserve a lot more of my, I keep saying ships, my vehicles. But I'm also way behind on research. So I did peek at this next mission, which we're about to jump into, Kalash Site. And while there's plenty of fighting, early on, if you don't spread out too far and you hold off on putting up the sensor towers or whatever, the sensor turrets, to find these wreckages, you have a good amount of time to do mining. And I only have a couple of salvagers, which are like your SCVs in StarCraft, your mining bots. And I think only one support carrier, which has to collect from those bots and repair and do other stuff. And so I don't actually need to spend a ton of money on new units. I'm gonna max out. You do have a fleet supply limit, like in StarCraft. It's 100 here, and I'm pretty sure some units, if they're bigger and more powerful, count more than one against the supply. So after I increase my mining operation a bit more, but like another support carrier, a couple salvagers, and maybe a couple more armored assault armored vehicles, and 1 or 2 railguns. Plus, I'm going to start being able to build air units in this mission, and base runners, which are sort of like mini Rachels. Unclear if I'm going to need more than a couple of those when I have Rachel. Rachel doesn't do a lot of things, but now you can put up static turrets in addition to sensor towers with the base runners, whereas Rachel, while she can do the sensor towers, she can't do the turrets, at least not yet. And so we'll have to see if cheap static defenses, which might get destroyed easily or just not even be in the fight, are worth the money and time, or whether I should just keep maxing out my fleet, because base runners really can't do a whole lot else. Just looking at the wiki here real quick. So they do 5 damage. Armored assault does 11 damage. Light attack vehicle, this is just base damage, does 15. But medium rate of fire. Armored assault does 11, but very high. They have much more hull. Your railguns do 225 and can shoot from ways away, but they only have a medium rate of fire and not a lot of hull points. So really, armored assault, while they technically are hard countered by railguns, and you're supposed to go after railguns either with your own railguns or by your well, the bad guys are called skimmers. Mine are called light attack vehicles. It's rock, paper, scissors. The lightest can take out the heaviest take out the mediums, and the mediums take out the lightest. It gets more complicated as you get more units. But base runners can put out regular turrets and anti-aircraft turrets, and they are an anti-aircraft unit itself. So actually, going back on that, may end up adding more base runners over time to serve as anti-aircraft, both as themselves and to put up AA turret posts. I think you get mines with them later as well. Let's see, railguns cost. Where's the cost? So railguns are 3 against the supply. I can show you guys what I'm looking at here. So kind of, it's 3 against the supply, 14-second build time. Costs 260. The armored assault costs 180.30, so a bit cheaper. Same build time, same fleet supply. But really, while they're technically I mean, can be taken out by well-placed enemy railguns. I think the key is to just swarm your light attack vehicles, which a lot of people just stop building, I think, as the game goes on. But I'm going to keep having light attack vehicles, and I'm going to maybe even combine the control group of light attack and armored assault. And so if armored assault does end up going up against their rail guns, I can boost ahead my light attack vehicles to take out the rail guns. But mostly, if I'm going after a lot of light attack vehicles, which is a lot of what they have, is their skim runners or whatever they're called, then really it's armored assault to take them down, and armored assault also can take out railgun if coming from the right angle, and I'm going to have air units. So the key here is there's a little early part of exploration with Rachel. I didn't play this all the way through, I just wanted to get a sense of it. And then you're sort of in a fixed position where you have to look for 3 salvage sites, and you're avoiding occasional enemy attacks and tornadoes. And then you have to put out sensor turrets or whatever to find your these wreckage sites, and then send Rachel to the site and put a sensor tower at the site, etc. But you really have to avoid tornadoes, which I don't remember. I'll say this at the beginning of each, and we'll jump into the mission, which is I'm a StarCraft player, and so one thing that'll make me good at this game is I have decent, micro, fast micromanagement skills from playing so much StarCraft. I mean, I'm not amazing, but I play a lot of StarCrafts, but it could work against me in some cases here, where I try and overly micro units, and I did discover a few things having to do with hotkeys that are very helpful in the last few missions, and my sort of quick early run through of just the beginning of this mission that are very helpful, because control groups are, life or death. You have to use them in StarCrafts, and in this game, you definitely need them as well, especially when things get very hectic. But how you do the control groups, how they go from one to the next, how you add and take away from control groups, how you combine control groups, etc., is different. And of course, the actual micromanagement. So, okay. A little stuffed up, so I'm not quite sure how the sound is here. So we'll have to just launch the mission and see. And then I'll put my big earbuds, my headphones on, so I'm listening live. Right now I'm just listening to the Twitch feed. So anyways, thank you guys again so much. Really love this game. The other thing I want to mention, that I'd like to mention at the beginning of each of these, is that I did watch a walkthrough or two of these like a couple of years ago, and loved it, and played a little bit of it, did the tutorials, played a few missions, and then for whatever reason I got sidetracked, wasn't gaming for a while, and the last few months I've just been playing tons of StarCrafts. But this is one I've been saving for a rainy day, but in the back pocket kind of thing. It's fun because it distills a lot of what I like about RTSs, but does its own thing. And it's in the Homeworld world. And while I haven't played the original Homeworld games, even in their remastered forms, the space ones, since back in the day, it was always a super cool story. And it was cool that they did this prequel when I think they released the remastered Homeworld 1 and 2 in 2015. It had such a great reception. They did a Kickstarter, I think, to do this prequel game, and it looks and plays great still today. It doesn't try and just imitate Command and Conquer or Total Annihilation or StarCraft or Warcraft, and so forth. So, all right, let's jump in with Rachel. Hope that the sound's okay. It always ends up soft in the VOD. But if I turn up my mic much more, especially because I start leaning in at times, then it'll be too much. Okay, here we go. Let's see how this is.
The shipwreck was a coalition carrier, lasting 4 years ago. The wreck has been ransacked by Gaalsien troops.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the game sound pretty high.
We believe it was the recovered artifact. We have also recovered the encrypted first officer's log from the derelict carrier. It belonged to my brother.
This is one of the cooler and
Data is
longer
spotty,
cutscenes.
but this is what we have deciphered.
The brother angle is super cool. It's amazing how much story and character they get in this game with not a lot of dialogue in a relatively short campaign. Just with the sort of journal briefings and then these awesome cutscenes. But look at how they shot this. It's very reminiscent of Command and Conquer, trying to use the found footage.
The Kalash coordinates correspond
Yeah, I just spoke
to this
over all that, but
location
just
from
her
the
listening to
satellite
her
data of 4 years ago.
her bro's
We will
video
alter
diaries.
course, following the route of our coalition's first expedition. At the Kalash location,
Right,
we will
I
accelerate
hinted last
resourcing
game that
and
we were going to
artifact
switch
recovery
course, but we
operations.
definitely are.
Course locked in.
Alright, course locked in. So here we go. Savathi Basin. So, you start with just Rachel, which is fun. It's like a hero mission where you're playing like Nova or Kharak in
Rachel, scout ahead and
StarCraft.
establish a
Just
positive
one
ID.
unit, but it's just for the beginning.
Roger that.
Alright, so here we
We
go.
have arrived in the general vicinity where the Ifrit
Arrived in the
Nabal
general
recovered
vicinity.
the artifact.
Test 1 2 1 2.
Spread out and search the area.
Turn them down a tiny bit. Alright. So, we don't have full control now.
Nothing. Adjusting onboard scanners.
One of the things about this game is, even though the camera is great and you can move it all around and everything looks awesome, you know, like with StarCraft, where you can spin the camera a little bit, you end up being zoomed out fully. But even more so, you end up doing a lot of your work in the tactical map here, because with the huge carrier and other sort of mothership units, and just the number of units and how spaced out they get quickly, it's hard to keep track of. Let me just do a quick save here. All right, T 5.3.1. It makes sense to me. All right. So the first thing we have to do is search for the Kalash. We're following her brother's trail. Oops, sorry about that.
Just when we were getting comfortable.
It's interesting. There's not a start-stop. It had been so long. I thought there was a start-stop mechanism. I'm glad there's not. It seems slow, especially with mining. That the sort of default speed.
Okay, time to roll.
That the default speed is slow, but then you get into battle and it gets really, really hectic. So they just decided to say it's one speed. You can't adjust it, and you just play it with the game. As you can see, I have almost no resources, but you can see my fleet capacity is already almost maxed out because I saved my units from the last time. All right, so right now Rachel is at 0, which isn't like the ideal number for Rachel, but or 10, but at least it means I won't lose track of her. All right, let's see what we got here. So I think
We're moving out. Spool up.
yeah. We're gonna go here and then we're gonna go up here. Waypoints are pretty easy to do. The attack and move is different than
We found something. Fire at will.
other games, because it does it in a radius, that rather than just in a straight line, which is cool. It just looks awesome, and it harkens back to the Homeworld, radar map, even though it's not 3D like it would be in space. Look at that thing! Oh my god! Oh, this is the cool shot in the cockpit with Rachel and her co-pilot or whatever.
What are we dealing with?
Stand by.
Yeah.
Checking the data now.
I love these. Other than this is a little low res during the cutscenes, which is weird with the rendering. I do love the sort of watercolor, hand-drawn style.
Analysis of the main superstructure. Readings show considerable heavy metal
Right.
deposits.
So the game footage actually looks
This is
better than the
definitely
cutscene
Kalash site
footage.
Jacob was talking about. Data confirms the Ifrit Nabal artifact was indeed removed from this location. I'm also detecting wreckage strewn across the valley below.
All right.
I'll need to set up additional scanners to get a clearer picture of exactly what happened here.
Turned up my own sound to myself. All right, so here we go.
My preliminary scans are
So here comes.
incomplete. I need to
So here
place a
comes my
scanner at
units.
this location to get more data.
Make sure I'm not maxing out. So here comes the units I actually built. Here, the exact composition. Now you can just select everything. You can turn on and off the stats,
Armor confirms.
which is cool. Camera control is great. You can see all the resources. I have 0 resources. I spent it all on units last time. So this is what we're gonna do. Is I have to deploy a scanner here, but ultimately here, here, and around here, like these 3 roughly sites, with lots of head guys and tornadoes in between, are the other wreckages I'm gonna need to go to. But I also need to do some mining because I want to get as much research. I want to research everything, even if it takes a little more time.
Confirmed.
So one thing they added, and it's not even in the key bindings nor listed anywhere, at some point they patched it sort of quietly, is they added the F2, the infamous F2 from StarCraft, which is just select all military units. But rather than select them all and just seeing them all individually, it does it by type of unit, and then you can select
Strike craft.
the
ready.
unit group of that type, and then you can select an individual unit, which is really nice because you can F2 to get all units to like send them to one place,
Destination set.
but then say, you know what,
Ready.
I actually want the runners to go here,
Ready.
and I want the railguns to go here, and
All
I want
systems
the
ready. We're moving out. Cruiser ready.
armored assault vehicle to go there.
Destination set. Move us out. Go for carrier.
All right, so now we're gonna move in.
Strike responding. Range online. Ready. Can you confirm updates? All systems green.
Let's see, railguns 3.
Group 3 assigned. Fleet Group 4 assigned. Control Group 3 designated.
Railgun copies.
Fleet Group 3 assigned.
2 is here.
Make sure you count for what those recon guys.
Systems online.
All right, so I already am trying to.
Strike confirmed.
Fleet Group 1
It's a little
assigned.
confusing because they get these little notches with combat experience, and they get ranks and names and so forth. So the deploy scanner is one of those obvious things that's gonna launch whatever the next phase of the game is. But I need to mine first, and on top of that,
Carrier copies.
I don't. That's rally point is Y.
Rally point set.
I need another support cruiser, and I need some more salvagers to start going faster. But right now I have literally 0 money. I can't even build another salvager.
Reading you, command.
So
Ready.
let's see, 4. Where are my salvagers, by the way?
Carrier.
I should have 2 salvagers. Are they still back? Oh, they're back here.
Systems ready. Secure
Right,
us
so
for
they
movement.
should be
Control Group 4
4.
designated.
4 support cruisers 5.
Cruiser ready.
So we can make
Reading
Rachel
in.
6.
Fleet Group 6 assigned.
The Capisi is just a squiggly bot. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is send 2 there, and then I'm going to send 1 over there. These are just the 2 kinds of money, CUs and RUs. It's like minerals and gas. I can't speed this up even if I wanted to, but again, the experience of the desert and how really rapid fire it gets during combat, it really makes sense.
Carrier copies.
The other thing I know, quote unquote, is that my carrier's not going to be able to leave this plateau, as far as I can tell, during the mission. These are uncrossable. These dark blue are uncrossable in general, but this light blue are areas that all my other units can go. But the Capisi, like if you try and click over here, it doesn't do anything.
All systems
So
go.
we'll move it.
Clear out.
We'll move. Actually, you know what? Let's just leave the
Powered
Capisi
live.
in place for right now. All right. So here we are. We're scanning stuff.
Let's do this efficiently as possible. PC, go ahead.
All right.
Carrier
So the
copies.
first thing we're gonna do is build 2 more salvagers.
Ready for assignment. Proceed
You want to
to
move the
new
support
coordinates.
cruiser as close as possible.
Strike craft ready. Armor confirms.
to the mining units. Here are the railguns. You know, again, it's a little hard to tell a little bit when it comes to high grounds, especially because there's high ground you can't go to.
Ranged online.
But let me put.
Destination set.
I'll put these 3 here,
Acknowledged.
and these 3 over here,
Railgun responding.
and I'll put some armored vehicles over here, and I'll put some
Straight copy. Get a snag. Let's move.
some light vehicles here. They're still waiting for me to deploy scanner, but I want to get the minerals so I can start researching.
Go for carrier.
Now F3 is a scavenger that is not assigned yet.
CU's identified. Proceed to site.
I also need to buy another support cruiser once we get to 650. So I'll leave on the resource map or whatever you want to call it first. Rachel's gonna be able to do more things. They're saying deploy scanner. She can also passively repair, which is great. But again, I do have an F2. It said some site was exhausted of resources. So there's another salvager.
PDA
So,
active.
so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move the Kapisi
New course chart.
up here.
Cruiser reading.
I'm gonna move the support cruiser over here.
To proceed. Move. Reading you command.
I thought
Salvager ready.
salvagers. Yeah, I thought I had other salvagers. There's supposed to be 4.
What do you need?
Let's see. Where's the other salvager? Normally you're supposed to select a salvager. Oh, I see.
Armor copies.
It's
Moving.
still scanning here.
I
Now,
don't
can it
have that.
return? I forget if it has to return
PC reading.
Proceed to rally point.
to a
Secure
support
location
craft, or
marked.
whether it can just go to the
Update
to the
received.
Kapisi, but I need a second one anyways. All right, so I can start researching stuff.
We're going to get live scan reports back.
So I definitely want to increase support cruiser. I mean, I want to get all of this, and I'm going to start getting a lot of money soon. And I'm already maxed out, as you can see, in terms of 95 out of 100 units. What does it call it? Supply, fleet capacity. Yeah, exactly. All right, so
Support
here's the
cruiser
other
now
support
operational.
cruiser. It can go here.
Reading you command.
All right, so now my 2 support cruisers are 5 and 5.
Cruiser reading.
There's a lot of minerals here, so I'm going to be able to do a lot of research
Go for
here.
carrier.
And I definitely want to build.
Salvager ready. Cruiser
Where
ready.
am I?
Reading you command.
There are my scavengers. Just 1 out of 2, 1 out of 2, 1 out of 2. Yeah, it's scanning slowly. You can put
Railgun
2
enhancements
per
online.
thing, actually. So I could have more, but right now I want to focus on army. And then when I lose some army, I'll maybe build some more scavengers. So as you can see, you know, I don't know how we're 13 minutes into the mission already. I don't know if those are. I think these are real seconds. You can see in the top over here. Oh, I forgot this. Cool, there's a quick save. But I just want to get all the mining finished. So right, so F2 has all the army, which isn't even listed in the hotkeys. F3 will do, like when you don't have an SCV or a worker working in StarCraft, you hit F1 to find it. Here it's F3, but they're all working at the moment. And F4 selects Rachel, so I actually don't need Rachel on number 6, which is cool. All right, so let's see. What is everything mining? That should be mining. Everything mining that should be mining. Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna have to build.
PC, go ahead.
I'm gonna have to build more units soon. What do I have here? All right, so since the Kapisi is not gonna be able to leave the zone, I think I'm just gonna
New
move
heading. Adjust.
it a little bit away here.
Ready. We're up and running.
just micro some of my units around a little bit. So right, I'm thinking of combining armored assault and light assault together, even though they don't necessarily attack or go after the same thing. Alright, we won't wait anymore. We'll just deploy the scanner. And right in the middle of this guy mining. Sorry, guy mining. Alright, so she deployed the scanner, or she's deploying it.
Scanner deployed. Commencing surface scan now.
Now it's,
Board
if I
3,
move away,
position. The technology contained here is far more extensive
let's see if it
than
still
anything
scans.
we've gathered to
I
date.
think it does.
It will advance our existing research programs exponentially. The resources that are visible now can be salvaged, but there are considerably more within the wreck itself.
Just listen
In
to
order
Rachel.
to extract them, we need to establish a broader scanner network so I can develop a
I want to get
complete
all this
shipbreaking
research
plan.
done while I can.
I'm sending the details to the Capisi's engineering team. Scan
So the
complete.
mouse wheel isn't
I'll need
perfect
some
in
time
terms
to
of
fully
speed
analyze this
and
data.
stuff, but it's not
Railgun
bad.
enhancements
All
online.
systems green.
Okay. There we go. I triggered the thing that I knew I would trigger.
We need to explore the valley below to identify additional wreckage from the Kalash. Deploy and secure scanners
Alright.
at each
Additional wreckage from the
site located.
Kalash.
Alert. The storm is producing tornadoes on low-lying areas.
Yeah, these
Avoid
tornadoes can
tornadoes.
just literally
Sand
destroy
and
your
debris they
units.
spin up chews through light armor. Searching for additional wreckage in the valley ahead could be difficult. If we upgrade our fabrication facilities to produce base runners, they'll help us in our search.
Right, the base runners. Right, search for wreckage. There's no way to actually straighten the camera north-south. You just have to be careful. Okay, so here we go, way out on the map. So there's wreckages here. These are sand tornadoes. They're not going to come up here, and I can't actually move the carrier off here. So the carrier is going to have to do all of its building and support and so forth from here. I'm going to do base fabrication next. As you can see, I finally have money, and I know I delayed a little bit of the game.
Carrier copies.
Let's see.
Acknowledged.
I'll move Rachel this
We're
way.
moving out. Spool up. Research completed.
Assignment. Green light to proceed. Move.
And then
PC, go ahead.
I need to deploy
Rally point set. Move to location.
base runners. So let's research base runners first.
Keep your screens clear.
I think it's in this menu here.
Get deeper.
Base runner fabrication online.
Nope, it's in basic vehicle.
Begin constructing base
All right,
runners
there's the base
and use
runner.
them to search for salvageable wreckage.
Yep. All right,
Carrier
let's
copies.
keep the.
Operations
We want to
update.
keep Rachel as
REs in the
upgraded
region
as
have been
possible,
drained.
and then AAVs are next. From what I can remember, AAVs are.
Deploy a probe from one of our base runners to help in the search for wreck sites.
See used.
Probes will allow us to quickly explore new areas and search for hostile forces.
All right, so base runner is going to be
Control
6.
group 6 designated. Research completed.
Because Rachel's F4/0. Alright, here we go. Alright, so we know where the wreckages are. So the question is, which direction do we go with the tornadoes going the way they can do? Now, part of the thing was I wasn't able to, on a previous short run through of this, I wasn't able to move the Capisi out of the plateau area. So this looks the closest here, but I'm wondering if I go
Can you
south
provide
first.
An update on the Sakala's current location.
Use probes to search for X.
No response
Right.
from the Sakala. The storm is interfering with our communications.
Storm is interfering.
Understood. Keep me advised.
All right, so deploy scanner only costs $25. The turrets do cost $250, so you really have to like those. All right, launch probe, long range probe for 30 seconds. Oh, so I can launch right from here. I totally forgot that.
Reading you, command.
How far does the base runner have to go? No, it doesn't have to go. There's just there's a cooldown period or whatever.
Reading you.
Now Rachel can deploy a scanner on her own
Location marked.
without, but
Deploy scanner.
she can't shoot it long
Reading you,
run.
command.
There's the base runner. All right. Sorry if I'm gonna go in and out of the menu thing real rapid like.
Ready.
Let's see. 1 out of 2, 2 out of 2, 2 out of 2. Am I getting all the resources? Yeah, I pretty much have all the resources. Do a quick save here. Now we have to make sure that Rachel is defended if need be. So we're gonna move these guys a little bit closer because she's doing the probe.
Reading you.
And
deposit depleted.
and gonna do another
Set up a
scanner over here, which he's gonna physically have to move to.
Rachel here.
There's Rachel. The tornadoes are coming, so I gotta be careful about that. Here's the probe coming back. So we want to get Rachel
Armor online. Board is green.
back when we need her to.
Reading you.
Hurry up, Rachel.
Holding.
Put it right
Set
here.
up scanner for area.
And then get back.
Science officer responding.
So I can queue that up, which is nice. It's not. Let's keep doing.
Please confirm negative.
Wreckage site detected. Go for complete. Great work. Establish a scanner
Get back,
and a
Rachel.
defensive turret. Our
Right.
scans indicate
So
there
we're
are
gonna
2
be coming
additional
back,
wreck
but for
sites.
right now we're gonna go back here.
Research completed.
All right. So he's putting. The base runner is putting the guy here. How's my my mining going? 2 out of 2. 2 out of 2. Getting tons of money. I'm out of the other kind of stat, whatever it's called. Won't even show me. RUs. Oh no. Oh no. I do have 975. It just means I'm not scanning any actively. All right. I need to watch out for this space runner, so that he doesn't get hit by the tornado. So there's one scanner there,
Reading you, command.
and then we're gonna send him.
We're moving out. Spool up. Additional wreckage site located. Roger.
All right.
Good work. Set up a scanner and secure
Just
the site.
avoid this
There
tornado.
is still one more wreck site. Continue your search. Scanning teams. Establish defensive
Alright.
turrets on those scanner
So I guess I got.
ASAP.
I hope I got all 3 of those. All right, here come the bad guys. So light beats heavy, heavy beats medium, medium beats light. Okay.
The Gaalsien are targeting our scanner network. Scramble defenders. All scanning sites must be secured. Recommend deploying turrets from base runners to do so. Deploy
Proximity
All right.
warning
It's saying
in
it's saying to
Hostile
deploy
designated.
base runners. I'm sorry, turrets here as well. But that's money I don't
PC
want to necessarily spend. So the question is, do I split up my fleet, which isn't always the best idea. I've done plenty of
Enemy light attack
mining.
Vehicle marked on approach.
All right, so we're gonna start getting enemies. I think I'm gonna try and do this a little bit differently.
Strike
Armored assault modifications carried out.
All right, so we have enemies coming here. These are all sand skimmers.
Reading. New sector designated. Move out.
Receiving. Move order
The
confirmed.
sensors post is taking fire. This is the captain. Make ready.
New heading set.
All right, so these guys are gonna come here.
We're cleared to push up.
And these guys are
Go
gonna
for
come
armor. Underway.
here.
Moving out. Engage
Meanwhile,
targets on
Rachel
site.
is gonna deploy a scanner over
Deploy
here.
Scanner there. Reading you.
Runner, go ahead.
And this guy's gonna deploy
New coordinates.
Alert.
verified.
Sensor post destroyed.
Scanner.
Deploy a
Hostile
scanner
detected.
here.
Visual unconfirmed.
Armor is en route. Time to
This guy's
clear
gonna
out.
go here.
Ready to engage.
All right, let's
Contact
engage
with
over
enemy
here.
armor. Bearing designated.
Still
Armor,
have a
go
couple
ahead.
of
Move order
guys
confirmed.
here.
Light attack vehicle is under
All
fire.
right, so we've got assault ships and scout attack vehicles.
Reading. Green line confirmed.
All right, so
Punch it. Great work.
we're gonna
All
punch
the
it,
wreckage sites have been found.
and then
Armor
back
ready.
this way.
Deploy a
Now that we have the
scanner.
armored assault
Then set
vehicles
up a
in
turret
front.
to defend it from Gaalsien attacks.
Rachel, go ahead.
Now she's gonna deploy the scanner there, and this guy's gonna. All right, so here's my other.
Armor, go ahead. Coordinates confirmed. We're clear to move.
All
and
right, so we
engage.
combine these two. See if we can do all of these at once.
Go for orders. We're cleared to push up.
Where's Rachel? She's coming over that way.
Make ready. Reading. Alert. Light attack vehicle.
The Gaalsien are attempting to destroy our scanner network. Reading. Moving. to
All right,
require
so
rapid
where's
response
this guy? So
aircraft to counter
they want me to.
Gaalsien
They want me to
attacks.
build some
Invest in the Capisi's hangar facilities to begin producing strike fighters.
some
Make sure it's combat
turrets.
ready. Reading for orders. Punch it.
Hostile strike craft
Time to
down.
clear out. Be
So
ready
we're gonna
to
put some
engage.
turrets here. Base runner can attack. So might have not been the smartest idea.
Hostile light attack vehicle detected. We got something on the horizon. Waiting for eyes on to authenticate. On our way.
All right, now Rachel's scanning. All right, what else does she have to scan? Oh, upgrade to strike fighters. That's what we want to do next.
PC copies.
There's strike fighter fabrication.
Strike craft taking
We are losing units,
Alert. Light attack vehicle destroyed.
so we can build more units. What do we have all together? We're keeping the railguns for now. Light attack vehicles are low.
Armored vehicle
I did
taking
increase.
fire.
All right, now there's more assault ships coming in this way. The Kapisi,
Go for armor.
he
Strike
can't
craft
move
destroyed.
himself, but he can go this
Coordinates
way.
confirmed. Alert. LAV down. Get us moving.
No, but he's not going to be able to do that.
Fabrication online.
So I'm going to.
Begin constructing strike
All right,
fighters immediately.
time for strike fighters, big time. There's 6. That should be good number.
Enemy armor disabled.
Heading downrange. Strike fighter ready for service.
All right, so I think these guys are.
Rachel moving out.
We did what we had to do, right?
Move. Greedy. Move.
Let's see. Let's see if they can do what they got to do.
Receiving.
And they got more
Strike
bad guys
fighter
coming.
online.
Reporting. Displace. You spot a target and fire at will. Set
All
your
right,
heading.
we got to deploy a scanner up
Deploy a
here.
scanner at marked position.
Combat relay. Hostile production cruiser eliminated. Light attack vehicle is under fire.
All right, here we go.
Group 1 lost.
Go get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it.
Strike fighter ready for service.
Armor
Alright.
vehicle taking effective fire. The sensors post is
Fighter
under fire.
coordinates dialed in.
We got a railgun.
No, actually, we don't want to go that way. We
want
want to go this way.
Standing by. We're moving.
We wanna come this way.
Down.
All right,
We've
well,
lost a scanner.
they want their own
Clear
way.
to resume the scan.
We lost the scanner. Do we lose the base runner?
Ready. Roger that. Coordinates confirmed.
Unidentified
Let's see, I'll
contact.
launch the probe
Designated
here.
Hostile.
Okay, so
Reading you. We're cleared to
we
move.
lost the scanner. So we're going to do
Location
this.
marked. Deploy scanner. Running
And
copies.
the rest of these guys are
Clear
going
to
to
push up.
go like
Hostile light
this.
attack vehicle visually authenticated. Enemy
Alright.
contacts on the
So
board.
here's the base
Send
runner.
message. Op ready. Move order confirmed.
Ready. Heading
There
down
we
range.
go.
Engage targets on site.
Come on, deploy the
Target
scanner.
scan
Deploy the
out.
scanner. Come on, Rach, deploy the scanner. Is she deploying it?
Strike craft.
She's
destroyed.
doing it.
Alert. Support taking hostile fire. Be ready for contact.
All right. So,
Clear
uh-oh.
Hit it. Armored vehicle is
We
taking
need help.
fire.
We need help.
Enemy armor
Strike fighter
disabled.
coordinates dialed
The
in.
sensors post is taking fire. Systems online.
Yeah,
Ready
so I'm
to
gonna fill up on ships as quick as possible.
Alert. Sensor post destroyed.
We lack sufficient RUs. I've commenced the scan.
Can I get rid of some of these? Okay, I wanted to research. There's a strike fighter hangar.
Ready.
Okay.
Displace. You spot a target.
All right. So here's the scanner.
Push them back and deploy a new scanner. There. Receiving.
Reporting. Science officer on.
All right, we've had 2 of 3. So everyone now go this way.
Group 6
Everyone,
lost.
everyone down
Ready
this
for
way.
service.
All right.
PC,
So
go ahead.
strike fighter again. We're just gonna
Strike
send
fighter
to the.
coordinates dialed in.
Attack vector
Strike
downloaded.
fighter
Moving
online.
Put it
out.
here. Do I have
Engage
anything
targets
here?
on
Those are
site.
just ground scanners. These are support cruisers and so forth. Rachel
Awaiting
needs to
orders.
go.
Board's green. Reposition. Strike fighter ready for service. We're cleared to move.
All right, here we go. So Rachel will go this way. If I can find
Rachel
her.
here. Okay, time to roll.
Hostile light attack vehicle detected.
And then
Got
this way.
hostile on sensors.
Confirmed.
Confirm visual. Orders are to move.
All right, we've got bad guys going this way.
On our way. Go for armor.
So we also need to go this way.
PC copies.
Strike
We're gonna
fighter
send the strike
coordinates
fighters
dialed
this
in.
way. In the
course, yeah.
meantime, what do we need more of?
25%
Did we lose our
complete.
railguns?
Hang
So
in
we
there.
lost our light attack
This
vehicles.
is the captain.
We don't really want a lot of those. RUs required. Oh, I don't have RUs anyways.
A turret
So
is under fire.
we're- So we're gonna have to build some
Hostile strike
light
craft
attack
down.
vehicles.
The fleet is at maximum capacity.
Fleet is at maximum capacity. Alright, here we go.
Armor, go ahead. Keep
Light attack vehicle
All right.
online.
attention.
Strike fighter approach vector dialed
So
in.
these guys are actually gonna go over here.
Green line confirmed. Engines hot.
Light attack vehicle in service.
Move and engage on site.
Yeah, it doesn't want to do it from the
We're clear to move
there we
and
go.
engage.
Light attack vehicle
Let's see, do I still have my I don't have the base runner anymore, so Rachel has to
Armored
be
vehicle lost.
oh, is this guy gonna
Post is under fire.
is this guy gonna kill the scanner, and so I'm not gonna be able to do that?
Captain.
Strike fighter coordinates dialed in.
Attack
Interesting.
vector dialed in. We're in the
Light attack vehicle in service.
Alright.
Set up scanner.
So if that's the case,
PC copy.
then I am gonna have to build oh, I don't know if I can build.
Hostile production cruiser verified. Take it out.
Can I build base runner?
We
Yeah,
lost
base
the
runner.
scanner.
Alright, so yeah.
Easily.
Alright, so I have to
Alert
defend
sensor
all the
lost.
scanners at once, which I haven't been doing.
Op ready. We're up and running.
Strike craft destroyed.
Systems green.
Alright.
Armor moving out. Time to clear out. Be ready to engage.
Go for carry.
Alright, so there we go. So,
Base runner assembled.
there's the base runner. Where is the base runner?
Hostile designated. Mark Baron. Go for Capisi.
Alright, and
Proceed to
so
rally
in the
point.
meantime I'm gonna have to
Your
build
location marked.
let's see, just some light attack vehicles.
Fleet capacity capabilities are now at maximum.
Alright, I don't have
Maximum
anything.
Fleet capacity reached.
Alright, so here we go.
Rachel here.
So here's the
Reading it.
base runner. So he's gonna go,
Light attack
he's gonna
vehicle
deploy a
online.
scanner here,
Scanner for deployment.
but I'm gonna need some kind of army.
Armor online.
Light attack vehicle
ready for
enhancements
contact.
online.
to defend it.
Carrier copies.
Let's see,
Hostile
is there a
light attack
hotkey
vehicle
for,
visually authenticated.
The data we've already collected is amazing.
Location pending. Strike craft taking effective
alright,
fire.
so we'll try and, we'll jump in there.
Go for orders. Charge weapons and let's move.
Hostile strike
Come on,
craft
Rachel,
down.
put your scanner down.
Base runner here.
Alright, so now I need to
Strike fighter
do a
coordinates
strike
dialed
fighter.
in.
Strike systems online. Ready to burn. Tracking armored craft on approach.
Got no more to mine. I really need to get that
Support ready.
other. Need to defend this
Alert,
place.
light attack vehicle
engage.
destroyed.
Green line confirmed. Reporting.
Alright, so
Reading.
come on.
Strike fighter coordinates
Just
dialed
defend
in.
it. Just defend it.
Armor vehicle taking effective fire. Ready to burn.
Set to move. Cleared hot.
A sensors post is taking fire.
There's Rachel.
Rachel is taking
Right.
fire. Respond.
Come on,
On
guys.
the move. Be ready.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. There comes the base runner.
Ready. Send.
And then we keep sending strike fighters
Strike
over
fighter
here
ready.
just in
Production
case.
Cruiser sighted. Engage and destroy.
Alright, see if we can get that second base runner.
A railgun is taking effective fire.
Yeah, so this is one of those missions where I'll probably take the sort of default
Make
units for next
Strike fighter
mission
approach vector
because
network. Scan at
I didn't
80%.
completely
Just a
understand
little
the parameters of this mission.
Alert. Railgun lost.
Be ready for contact.
So here we
Patrol
go.
post just went down.
Let's just try and get through this part, and then we'll figure out
Attack
unit
vehicle is
stuff
under
later.
fire. Strike systems. Hostiles designated. Trackers assigned.
Reading.
Enemy light attack
Spot
vehicle
zone
marked on
contact.
approach.
There we go.
Heading set.
Let's see. Do we get the other? There goes the second scanner. Looks
Hostile
like we got the
strike
second
craft down.
scanner. Now we have to defend it.
Armored vehicle is taking fire.
Strike fighter coordinates.
So I'm
dialed
sending
in.
my air strike fighters
Contact for enemy armor. Bearing
Standing
designated.
by.
over here because I just don't have that many.
Alert. Support craft has been engaged.
I don't.
That's it. Scan complete. We've got it.
We've got it. All right, there's the
Hostile
scan.
railgun. Opened up.
All right, destroy the remaining forces. Okay.
Armor ready. Time to clear out. Be ready to engage.
Reading. Capisi moving
Everyone
up.
come
New
back this
sector
way.
designated. Move
And
out.
then we're gonna send the strike fighters over
Strike
here.
fighter approach vector dialed in.
All right, so what do I need
Attack
more
vector
of?
dialed in.
I only have 3 rail guns. I can't afford more though, even if I wanted it. So I'm gonna save my money for now, cause I can't.
Armor, go ahead. Put rounds on any bugs out there.
Sensors posted.
Trying to
Under
put
fire.
rounds on everything that
Strike
moves.
ground.
Come on,
Taking
come on,
effect
base
with
runner.
fire. Alert. Rachel is in contact.
Let's see what we got here. All right,
Easy copy.
back here, another airstrike.
Alert. LAV down. Ready to carrier. We're advancing.
Yeah, see, it's hard to see on the ground. You can't zoom out enough.
75% hull integrity. We've detected something. Can you confirm visual?
Throw a smoke
Armor vehicle taking
grenade.
effective fire. Get us over there.
Rush back
Alert.
here.
Rachel is at half hull integrity.
Rachel, Rachel's at low health.
Go! Ready!
We reach you.
Get out of here!
Enemy railgun
Copy.
eliminated.
Coordinates.
Enemy railgun firing on friend.
No, we don't want to do these, but here,
Heading
maybe
south.
these guys can
Green line
repair
confirmed.
Rachel.
Move us out.
She died. I think Rachel died. Did she die? And endo game.
Science officer Rachel Sajuuk
All right.
has been killed.
Let's see how long ago that quick save was. 22:32. Yeah. I was not expecting to have to run all the way there. Have to guard 3 positions at once. That was not ideal. It was way not ideal. So I spent all that money on research early on, and then I couldn't rebuild my units with the blue resource, which is like gas, which is harder.
All scanning sites must be secured. Recommend deploying turrets from base runners to do so.
Okay, so where are we right now? We still have most of our stuff. Deploy scanner, search for wreckage.
Hostile light attack vehicle visually authenticated.
So is this guy? What's this guy? This
Runner,
guy's a
go
base
ahead.
runner.
Get
So
a
he's-
scanner ready. Reading you.
On our way.
All right, so we're gonna go this way.
Move order
Sensors
confirmed.
post is taking fire.
Keep eyes out for hostiles.
All right, and we're gonna get.
New coordinates
Whoops.
verified.
Nope.
Alert.
Deploy
Sensor
scanner
post
here.
destroyed. Sequence and setting for current atmospherics.
I'm not gonna be able to do the
Go for
Kapisi. I wonder if I can use the Kapisi.
Get her moving.
Yeah, it just really doesn't want me to use her.
All systems green.
All right, so there's bad guys here. There's more stuff going on here.
Go for carrier.
Great work. All the wreckage
All
sites
right,
have
so
been found.
the record sites have been
Deploy
found.
a scanner, then set up a turret to defend it from Gaalsien attack.
Right, now it wants me to
Ready
use the
to
turret.
engage.
Defend that area with a turret. Support ready. Target set. Scan enemy armor on approach.
Armor.
Light
All
attack
right.
vehicle is under fire.
Now we're gonna put all of our army together here and hope for the best.
Standing by.
Strike craft
Coordinates
destroyed.
confirmed.
We're gonna try,
Green line confirmed.
because if Rachel goes over here without me,
Alert.
she's in
Light
big
attack
trouble.
vehicle destroyed.
Rounds on anything that moves out there. Receiving.
is he gonna put the scanner down? Put the scanner down.
Ready. Get a scanner out there. Ready.
All right, here we go. Come on.
Move and engage on site.
What do I have here? There's Rachel. Where's Rachel?
Runner, move out and be ready.
Get Rachel over there. What else do I have here? Support cruisers. I guess it wouldn't hurt to send a support
Green line
cruiser
confirmed.
to help as well.
Send message. Displace. You spot a target, fire at will. Reporting. Base runner is en route.
Actually, hold on. You stop for a sec. They want me to deploy a turret.
Enemy light attack vehicle marked on approach. Get a turret up. Make sure
So
it's
I can
combat ready.
do 2 turrets.
We got something on the horizon. Waiting for eyes on to authenticate.
All right, here we go. There's railguns and stuff. All right, can I get?
Ready.
Let's see what we got
Ready.
here.
Fleet Group 1 assigned.
Go ahead.
Fleet Group 2 assigned.
Receiving.
Control Group 1 designated.
Reading.
No, railguns are going to be
Fleet Group
3.
3 assigned.
Armored assault's going to be
Control
2.
Group
2, 1, 3.
designated.
We're cleared to push.
All right, here we go. Come on,
The
support
Gaalsien are
cruiser.
attempting to destroy our scanner network.
Go ahead. Science
We require rapid response aircraft to counter Gaalsien attacks.
All right, here comes the
Invest
aircraft.
in the Capisi's hangar facilities to begin producing strike fighters.
Hostile armor, eliminate. Receiving. Strike craft taking effective
All
fire.
right, boost.
Release smoke.
Boom.
Armor confirms.
Boost.
Hostile strike craft down.
displace and fire at will.
All right, there we go.
Ready.
Alert.
Rachel,
LAV
deploy
down.
scanner up
Armored
here.
vehicle is taking fire.
We'll send.
Underway.
We're gonna
We're clear
send
to
some
move and
units
engage.
for you here.
Reporting. We're moving. Set to move.
All
Clear
right,
hot.
so let's see.
Ready.
Let's create those aircraft.
Strike fighter fabrication online.
All right, so what's the hangar do?
Constructing strike fighters
Recharge
immediately.
time. We'll start with 6 for now.
Alert.
Ready.
Light
All right,
attack
so we
vehicle
need to be able to
destroyed.
get this third scanner. That's going to be the hardest one.
Enemy armor disabled. Runner. Hostile light attack vehicle detected.
Research completed.
Unidentified hostile incoming.
So what I'm going to have to do
Hostile
is
designated.
they
Trackers
have a
assigned.
production
Strike
cruiser
fighter
there.
ready for service.
Tracking armored craft on approach.
Take these guys out. Not everybody though.
Strike fighter online.
Not you guys.
Order confirmed.
All right. There's the strike fighter. So we scanned the second one, but now we still need to scan a third one.
Attention.
So
Strike fighter
we'll send the
coordinates
strike fighters
dialed
out there.
Strike craft destroyed. Engines hot.
Where is
Light
the
attack vehicle is under fire.
I don't want a support
Armored
cruiser.
vehicle
I
taking
want
effective
a
fire.
I want a base. Is it a base runner? Yeah, set the rally to
in.
here.
Strike fighter ready for service.
Ready.
Rally
All right,
point
there we
set.
go.
Move to location.
Roger that. Coordinates confirmed. Going mobile.
There we go.
This is
All
Rachel.
right.
Go ahead. We're moving.
A turret is under fire.
Heading downrange.
All right.
Engage on
Yeah.
site.
So we have turrets, but not enough. Here we go.
Go for support.
Alert. LAV down.
New heading. Support ready. Ready.
All right. Here we go. So
Ready for
everyone,
command. Displacing.
everyone's here. Base
Reporting.
runner,
New
you go.
coordinates verified.
And he's gonna put turrets here
Deploy turret on that location.
and here.
Runner
I didn't
copy.
realize it just cost straight minerals for turrets. Okay, that's
Hostile armor
dope.
eliminated.
That's dope. That's very dope.
Runner copy.
All right, so now he's gonna deploy a scanner here,
Location marked. Deploy scanner.
and
Go ahead.
let's
Hostile
see.
light attack
Can I
vehicle
build any
visually
other armored
authenticated.
assault vehicles?
Enemy contacts on the
I can
board.
build 2. And I'm at fleet capacity, so I can't anyways.
The captain.
All right,
Strike fighter approach vector dialed in.
let's see where these guys are
Attack
gonna
course
go.
set. Reading.
And then they're gonna. I want to attack over here as
Strike
well.
fighter approach vector dialed in.
There's some sand skimmers
Armored
here,
assault operational.
so he's gonna build that, and then he's gonna
Get a
build
turret up. Make sure it's combat ready.
2 turrets as well. All right.
Hostile strike
Sorry, I'll
craft
try and
down.
zoom in more, but right now I'm just trying to defend my bases.
Runner. New heading set. Pair up with that base runner. Set to move. Cleared hot.
Ahead full. Engage
So
on site.
then come back. Right. Okay. There we
Armored
go.
assault online.
Armored vehicle is taking fire.
Charge weapons and let's move.
All right. So here's another armored
Enemy
assault
armor
vehicle. Go
Keep
this
eyes out
way.
for hostiles.
Come
Base
on. Come
runner
on. Come on.
here.
Come on.
Carrier here.
Still waiting. Recall aerial units for now. I'm at full fleet. I should be researching. I also want to save some of that money
Ready,
though.
command. Copy. We're on the way.
Rachel here.
Let's see. So I have some stuff. I have some units here.
Reading you.
All right. Now I'm gonna have to defend.
Cruiser reading.
Rachel here. Okay, time to roll.
These guys are gonna have to just
Ready for
defend
assignment.
between these 2.
Research completed.
Carrier copy.
All right. Let's get all that going. All right. Here's
Send
the
your
base
message.
runner. I'm gonna put a bunch of
Defend that area
turrets.
with a turret.
I've commenced the scan.
Reading you.
All right. So now the scanning is progressing.
Cruiser ready.
Here go my units over this way. Let's see, what do I have here? 1 support cruiser,
Research
armored assault, and
completed.
railguns. That's fine. In the meantime, I want to make sure to let's see. I'm just gonna get the airstrike ready to go, because I know it's gonna come. Alright, so here's the final
Hostile
site.
light attack vehicle detected.
Alright, there's more bad guys. I knew the bad guys would be coming.
Standing by. On the move. Be ready.
Let's go get these guys.
Designate as hostile. We've got hostile on sensors. Confirm visual. Armor vehicle taking effective fire.
So I'm gonna actually send them ahead of time.
Dialed in.
Attack vector dialed in. We're in the pipe.
Moving through contact.
And we're gonna go
25%
through.
Complete. Hang in there.
Alert. Rachel is in contact. We're moving.
We're gonna deploy some more
Deploy a
turrets.
turret on that location. Deploy a turret on that location. Runner
I'm
copies.
gonna put 4 turrets here in case they decide to go back. Alright, well I maxed out on research and I maxed out on units. So at this point I just have to hold for the scans. And let's see.
Send message.
Hostile armor incoming.
Defend that area with a turret. Runner
I'm gonna
copies.
put 4 turrets here too once he's done. Alright, so let's see. Where are the bad guys? Here they come. They're coming this way.
Strike fighter coordinates dialed in.
Strike systems online.
Sending
Ready to
them
burn.
here. There's also units coming here, but hopefully Rachel and them can handle it. I have a decent amount of units here.
Capisi copies.
Let's see. Hopefully this guy won't die. Let's see if he can get the...
Sensors posted under
Alright, luckily, a little bit.
Strike fighter
Hostile
coordinates
strike craft
dialed
down. Alert. Support taking hostile fire.
Enemy contact. Get a turret up.
Just putting turrets out as fast as I can.
The data we've already collected is amazing.
Roger. Displacing now.
Alright, so we're gonna have to go over here.
Authentication pending.
Reporting. Cleared hot on move.
Alright, here's this.
Runner,
Did
go
we put
ahead.
turrets down? Deploy
We need a
turret.
set in place. Reading you, command.
More turrets here. Let's see, what do we got? Where's my base runner? Did he die?
Fire.
In contact. Display.
There's the base
Spot a
runner.
Target. Fire at will.
We got a railgun under fire.
He's still trying to get the cooldown period on that.
This is the captain.
Alright. Let's see, where do I want to do this to?
Strike
looks like-
craft destroyed.
Looks like...
Strike fighter coordinates dialed in.
Alert. Railgun lost. Green line confirmed.
Oh, railgun lost.
Scanning
Ah,
80%.
boo.
Just a
Oh,
little
there's a lot
longer.
of bad guys here.
Ready.
Alright, let's see what we can do. We don't have a ton of money, but I'm gonna hold it for now.
Strike craft taking effective fire.
Strike fighter coordinates dialed in.
Attack course set.
Smoke
So
screen.
put some
Good
smoke
copy.
screens down.
Ready.
Let's see here. Nothing here.
Reporting. Move order confirmed.
So
Capisi
now
copies. Alert. A turret post
Run.
just went down.
we
Destination.
need to take care of these
Taking
guys
fire.
ASAP.
That's it.
There we
Complete.
go.
We've got it.
Alright, we defended the 3. Here came our air units. Did a little bit of damage. Now I have to destroy remaining forces. Okay, so now I don't have to defend.
Going mobile. Hostile light attack vehicle visually authenticated.
I can just go
Hostile
straight up.
detected. Visual unconfirmed.
I can just go straight up this way.
Reading.
Alright. We got bad guys coming here, which is a problem.
Proceed to rally point. Secure location marked. Strike fighter coordinates
Alert.
dialed
Light
in.
Alright,
attack
let's
vehicle
see.
destroyed. Strike systems
This is
online.
gonna be
Light
tough
attack
here.
Vehicle is under fire.
Coordinates confirmed.
Hostile railguns have opened up. Support crews are under attack.
All right.
Immediate fire support on that position.
It's okay, we just have
Alert.
to destroy the
Support craft
forces.
has been engaged.
Reposition.
Alert. Red alert. PC is taking fire.
Heading downrange.
Alright.
Engage on site.
Alright.
Attention.
Armored
Gonna
assault
have to use
operation.
my assault fighters
Rachel
locally
under
here.
fire. Engines on.
Go for order.
Combat
Keep
alert.
eyes out for
Support craft lost.
Alright, now
Support
everyone come
armored
back to the
vehicle is taking
Capisi.
fire.
Receiving.
How's Rachel doing? Not great.
Get out of here. Move.
Hostile
Alright,
strike craft
let's
down.
put some smoke over
Smoke
here.
screen to target. Armor confirms.
Standing by. Move order confirmed.
We also have
Op ready. Armor is en route.
Ready.
these guys go. Come on, come on, come on. Get over here. Get over here. Get over here.
Lay down a smoke screen. Throw
Be
up any
advised.
hostiles
Group
in the
1 lost.
Alright.
Group 1 lost.
Losing a lot of units here.
This is the captain. Hostile armor
Strike
eliminated.
fighter coordinates dialed in.
Come
Green
this
line
way.
confirmed. Engines hot.
Receiving.
Do I have another base runner is the
All
question.
hands. Alert. Railgun down. Alert. Rachel is at 75% hull integrity.
Rachel's at 75%. That means negative 75%?
Get us moving.
Alright, then we gotta support her immediately.
Alert. Carrier taking fire. Maintenance protocols in effect.
Full power. Move.
Not you, Rachel. Not you, not you, not you, not you.
Armor ready. Enemy railgun firing on friendly.
Rachel, you get out of here. You get out of here.
Respond. Send message. Maintenance protocols in effect.
Alright, let's
In
see.
contact.
Let's go
Heading
here.
downrange. Engage target
Yeah,
on
this is
site.
hard. I knew this was gonna get hard.
Combat relay. Hostile production cruiser eliminated. Armor vehicle taking
Let's bring them back. Let's bring them all back.
Set new heading.
Go for armor. New heading set.
Put some
Deploy
smoke
at
down
designated target.
this way.
Runner, go ahead.
And let some smoke down this over here
Give me
just
a
in
smoke
case.
and be ready.
Alright, there we go. How many? I only have 2 railguns and 14 armored assault left. You can see my supply went way down. Mostly lost my light vehicles.
Understood.
It's
Great job out
mostly a miracle that I...
Thanks.
We've successfully completed our scan of the Kalash.
Alright, here, everyone's coming back up to the main plateau, which we started at. That went a lot longer than I expected. I expected a three-wave, or a 3-sided fight, at least, maybe even more. Alright, there we go. So yeah, so next mission we'll start with the default units, because, well, I did all the research.
I'm heading back to the Kiith now.
I'm gonna have to produce too many units to get back to where I was.
The result of your analysis.
I bet.
But we'll see. We'll see what they give me compared to... I mean, all I have are armored assault vehicles at this point. I kept my civilian vehicles.
Personal log, Captain Roman Sajet, expedition carrier.
Right, there's the
easy.
support. I have the 6 air are still alive.
Sandstorms are taking
The
a
2
toll on the
railguns,
girl, but she's
14
a hell of a
armored.
ship. We're managing well considering the haste with which we launched.
This is just the captain updating us.
Lead science officer Rachel is analyzing the artifact we found. She's eager to take risks, which I wouldn't have wagered on.
That
after our
was
first
not
meeting.
easy.
She's also driven as hell. She's giving the intelligence officer fits. My respect for her.
Give me the
grows
intelligence
daily.
officer fits. My respect is growing.
As for the
Yeah,
Gaalsien,
that's great.
Their hover technology makes them
Roguish
faster and more
Rachel.
maneuverable than our units. They're better
Right.
equipped for desert conditions.
Right,
too,
so the
which
bad
is
guys
no
are faster, more
surprise.
maneuverable. We have
But their
heavier
hit-and-run
firepower.
tactics, which I've seen before, always leads to something much larger and more dangerous.
Talking about hit and run,
It's only a
normally
matter
you're
of
the one doing
time
hit and run
before we
RTS. It's
truly
cool that you're
test
fighting against the hit and runs. Yeah, it's really cool that you're fighting against the hit and runs. The armor just has so much hull, and only direct shots from railguns are going to take them out. They're definitely worth most of your builds. What I need to do is have more than 2, but not more than like 6 or 8 railguns, but keep them stationary at key points and not let them move around and be exposed. The strike units, the little light attack vehicle ones, which are all dead, get blown up easily and are suicidal. It's like Mad Max, the game. But they do distract enemy fire, and mixing them in either with railguns or armored units, or just throwing them ahead, like I did a couple times to try and not have Rachel die, is I don't think they become truly irrelevant depending on your play style. But one thing I do remember from the playthroughs I watched was not only are the strike aircrafts, I guess are they calling them armored? No, Ariel 6. There's a bomber, and then there's even like a third type, like an interceptor. But these initial strike craft, because they can attack air and ground, and they're fast, and they're relatively cheap, and you can build at least 12 of them, maybe more. I think I remember that most people just focused on just the strike crafts in terms of money and micromanagement, and for the macro of building and maintaining them and getting upgrades. Even though the game's going to want to tutorialize me into using other air units, which is fine. I'll do it when they tell me to, at least for the first time through. Yeah, the bottom line is your ground units are gotta be based around your armored attack vehicles. Because again, just real quick, they take 3 fleet supply and they build as quickly as the other ones, but they have decent damage and extremely high rate of fire, but mostly they have a 1400 hull, which is more than twice the hull of a railgun and 3 times almost the hull of a light attack vehicle. Let's see, the base runner has 3350 hull damage. Okay, I didn't realize they were so powerful. Okay, so definitely want to build more base runners. I think they're considered support units. Are they considered armor, or they're considered support units? So they actually survived. I didn't realize, even though they have low damage, only medium rate of fire, they take up less fleet supply, and they can do anti-aircrafts. They can deploy those. First of all, they can deploy the turrets, which are only the basic orange minerals or whatever, which I'm always going to have more of. And so if I can get the static defenses down, that's definitely worth it and will help tank against my units, which are so valuable and hard to replace. I guess the anti-air turret posts will be coming soon, doing their own thing. Base runners are also armed with a single autocannon, which is weak, right? But they do shoot up, which is helpful. I think. Let's see. They can rapidly deploy mines launched in the air, and they can't be diffused. And they disable enemy ships. So yeah. So the disabling mines, which will go off as long as they're aimed correctly, is definitely where I want to go. And the sensors. Okay, so base runners is actually something I want to start investing in more of. Because even though they have very low DPS, damage per second, let's compare it to Rachel's. Is there Rachel's base runner? What do they call Rachel's? Does Rachel have, her thing has a name? Not artillery. Oh, we start getting assault and artillery cruisers as well. We start getting bigger gunships. Artillery cruisers are coming somewhat soon. I'll study these offline in between. It wasn't a great engagement by me. I lost a lot of units, but it was hard to defend all 3 sites without spreading my units between 3 sites, which you almost never do in RTS. And then I had to wipe out the enemy, but I couldn't get them back into a big death ball, and so they were able to get picked off. Luckily, with the air units and moving some units around a little bit, I was eventually able to get rid of the enemies that were there. But I'm going to have to probably take the sort of default fleet going into the next mission. We're going to take a break and post this because that went over an hour. The mission itself was just under an hour, which was long for an RTS mission. And I sort of took my time explaining and mining, and then things got really hectic, and they just didn't stop being hectic, which was great, but it was very, very challenging. I think about a third through at this point. The science base runner is Rachel's, and it has 10,000 hull, and it has low rate of fire and 6 damage, so it does even really less damage per second than normal base runners, but it can take 3 times as much damage. So base runners are something I'm for sure. You know, if you played StarCraft, support aircraft like Ravens for the Terrans, and Oracles, and some other for the Protoss race. Like, the races have these air units which can do direct or indirect damage by dropping turrets or shooting missiles. They're spellcasters. So base runners are basically this game's equivalent of spellcasters. Because we'll just go back to normal base runner. Because they can deploy, so they have regular turrets, anti-air turrets, mines which disable, maybe disable air units and ground units because the mines are launched through the air. It says the bad guys make no attempt to evade them. So I think the disabling by the base runners is best use of their spell casting, and then maybe drop some turrets, but disable the bad guys so you can get your regular offensive units in there to attack and not all die super fast, as can happen. That's one thing about this game that I do remember both from watching those playthroughs and also playing a little bit of it a year or two ago, was like in StarCraft, you can have a maxed out army and feel like you're doing really well, but you divide the army and suddenly you get caught fighting battles in 2 or 3 places, and it can snowball against you really badly. And so while there are negatives to keeping all of your offensive units in one place, and this game makes it impossible for you to do so, which is a credit to this game, when you can get all your units together and you have a large or maxed out army, it's totally worth it, because they can then snowball the enemy and with different types of fire sort of help defend one another with their various kinds of positives and negatives balancing one another off so far. So, okay, well, thanks for joining me. These are very brainy missions. They require a lot of thinking, not just microing attacking. So in some ways, this game is a lot simpler than StarCraft with fewer units. And, you know, well, there are at least one kind of bad guys. I don't want to spoil what's coming forward, but there's one main other bad guy, and then one main good guy, which is us, like in the original Command & Conquer between Nod and the GDI, mostly the same units, even if they look different and act slightly different. So it's not like 3 completely different races with 3 completely different styles like in StarCraft, but because you trigger events that can't be untriggered whether you're ready or not, and you're not sure when you're going to trigger them here, the event, it's easy to get lulled to sleep, as I did sort of midway through the mission, thinking that my strategy was going to work and I wouldn't have a problem splitting up the fleets to 3 different places. Ended up reloading once and getting through it. Ended up with not that much money, but I'm going to start with a few extra fresh units, and I researched everything I could. The Capisi's still in good shape. Rachel got somewhat injured, but she didn't die, which ended the game before. But right now I have 6 aerials. I'm going to immediately max out aerials for my air attacks, because it's really the best and only way to get to a new location quick, fast, in a hurry, and not just be playing whack-a-mole as they call it, where you go to one wreckage site only to have to go back to the other wreckage site, but on the first wreckage site they took out your radar, so you have to go back to that one. Hard to go back and forth like that. There's cooldowns, they're moving on the ground. The air units just go, they drop their strike in an extended area, and they come back home or whatever. And with 12, it'll be much better. I'm pretty good with 14 armor units, but I definitely need some more railguns. And I think, actually, rather than light attack craft, base runners cost 250 CUs, but they don't cost RUs, whereas the armored assault vehicles do cost RUs, which are like gas, which are the more valuable, harder to find thing, and it's 200 to use and the full 60 for railguns. Plus you need RUs, which is the blue mineral, the secondary more valuable mineral or resource. You're gonna need that for research as well. So the fact that it's 100 for a light attack vehicle, but it's 250 for the base runner, but it can take almost 7 times more damage. It's 3,300 hull versus 500, and has extra armor, which blocks damage on top of that. They took twice as long to build, but they don't take more fleet supply, and once you do it, they can do so many things for you. So actually, it's looking like, contrary to what I remember in my expectations, the microing I'm going to end up doing is actually keeping my main units in certain areas, especially the railguns, so they're not exposed, and actually microing the base runners to use the mines whenever those come in to disable enemy units, then drop down anti-ground and anti-air turrets as well. Really tons of static defenses. Just one more time to just jump back here. I think they have, right, here's the turret post and anti-air turret post. So these are the 2 they drop. So the turret post is deployed by base runners. They have a hull of 600, very high rate of fire with 30 damage. So while they cost 250, they can tank so much damage. They got tons of armor. They build quickly, and 30 damage. They don't have RPS stats here, but whatever very high is times 30 damage is a lot. So you need to get those turrets down very quickly, because a lot of times you are just defending Rachel and other support vehicles doing archaeology, science stuff or whatever. See, the anti-air ones have even bigger hull, 1,100. also 5 armor, also 10 seconds, also cost 250. Or sorry, they cost 350 as opposed to 250. But they have almost twice the hull, and they do anti-air. Now we haven't faced a lot of air, and I don't think we faced a lot of air I don't think we faced a lot of enemy air until somewhat later. But maybe we're further in the campaign than I think. And so I think the strategy going forward that I learned from this one, because the light attack vehicles are all gonna get destroyed, is focus on those, preserving all those armored assault vehicles that I have. Don't worry about building more light attack vehicles. Get a few more railguns, but keep them more in a defensive position, like siege tanks. You know, like siege tanks in both StarCraft 1 and 2, while they can be very offensive, they're very slow and big and unwieldy, and are mostly actually used in siege mode to defend bases or important, ramps up to the bases. So I basically want to do a hold position, shoot anything that comes near it to railguns among the ravines and valleys to just blast everything that comes through, and then mostly focus on armored assault vehicles, and hopefully I can drop the base runners turrets to take out what's left and help defend. I mean, basically I'll have to check out range. I don't know if this has range. Let's see, railgun. Does this show range on the railgun? I just know that it's far range, but it doesn't actually say the range. But anyways, obviously, armored assault doesn't have super long range. Railguns are much longer. Turret posts have dual heavy cannons. That's why they have so much damage and fire so fast. And they're the same ones they use on battle cruisers with the same fire rate and damage output. So yeah, you're taking battle cruisers. So these are giant turret posts. They should make them look much bigger than they do, both in the pictures and the up close and just the thing on screen, because they have a lot of hull, take a lot of damage, a lot of armor, and can do a lot of damage. And so I'm thinking I use the base runner to set turrets along with railguns in place to defend the main, firstly the main entranceways up to like wherever the Capisi is, my carrier, and my support units are. So between the railguns and the turret and anti-air turret posts should be able to defend that, and at least then I can also leave the Capisi carrier and my salvagers and my support carriers and so forth. I can leave them not alone, but I don't have to worry about them as much with all of those turrets doing so much damage and tanking so much damage as well at once. And then I can send out armored assault vehicles with a few other vehicles to support them and repair them, like maybe try and get some support carriers even going along with them, and the base runners going with them as well, who can tank a ton of damage and keep dropping down turrets, which again only cost CUs, which are the much more common and easier to get mineral element, as opposed to RUs, which are like gas, which are much harder to get. There's way fewer places. There's way fewer places you can get them. You spend very quickly, and you end up with like what we call minerals for a mineral dump in StarCraft. We end up with the CUs for a CU dump. But the turrets here, relative to StarCraft, from what I can tell, the turrets here do way more damage and can take way more damage than either the turrets built by your worker units, the SCVs in StarCraft, or the ones that like the Ravens drop on the fly. Which are basically the equivalent of your base runners, your spellcasters, which can do all these special things. Even though their direct damage isn't great, they release lots of things to do very high direct damage or stunning, disabling, etc. So okay, there's my little post game. If I wasn't doing a let's play on this and I already had to reload one save and almost had to reload a second one, I would have replayed most of that game, or at least the second half of it, and try and preserve more of my units. But I'm going to end up going back and doing achievements and playing on harder levels. And I'm going to try and stay on normal difficulty as long as I can. But I'll probably take their loadout, their default loadout going into the next mission, because I lost. Well, it's hard for me to tell. Again, I didn't lose aerial units, and I have lots of armored assault vehicles. The main thing I lost are railguns, but I can build 4, 5, 6 of those, as long as there's some mining. So, you know what? So maybe what I'll do is, in order to keep the story, it's such a cool feature of the game that you can choose to keep your exact units that you ended the last mission with, because like Breaking Bad episodes, one episode leads directly into the next one. That's what's happening on screen in the game, and so it would make sense that you would have the same units. You wouldn't have time or money to rejigger it if we're playing along with the lore of the story of the game. So we'll try and hope that we get whatever the beginning of next mission is, has some mining for upgrades, but mostly so I can get a few extra railguns, but also have some bank, way more bank than I have, and get some bank for those turrets, and more base runners as well, in order to support my main offensive units. So thank you so much again for joining me. This game is a joy to play. I'll try and keep them closer to an hour or less in the future. Yeah, this was the first really tough mission, and I learned a lot of stuff, and I'm gonna have to rethink a bunch of my ideas. And maybe before I play next mission, either today or I guess tomorrow, maybe at the latest, whenever I find time, I'll replay the second half of the mission and see if I can do a little bit better. But I did get all the bonus goals, and I do have, I have enough offensive power to at least start right into the next one. So maybe I'll just wait until the next stream and do that. Either way, thank you for joining me. Join me again then. If you're watching this on YouTube, which is most likely where you're watching it, I am at twitch.tv /thejbizzle7. So the J Bizzle is Bizzle, so twitch.tv /thejbizzle7. I'll make sure to put that in the copy if it wasn't in there before on YouTube, if you want to watch me live. But mostly people are going to watch a VOD on YouTube. So thank you so much for the support. And I can't wait to do whatever the next mission is in this really awesome and original, even within the Homeworld franchise, for all the things it shares with the original Homeworld games. It's such an original RTS, and it's just inspired. I can't even imagine playing multiplayer on this. Hopefully, that's another thing. Leave in the comments if you guys have played through this and are multiplayer players and are interested. I'm obviously just okay at this so far because it's my first run through on normal difficulty, trying to get all the achievements and everything and all the research. But I do play tons of StarCraft. I am an RTS guy. And so skirmishes I would probably be okay at, especially after I get through a few more of these missions and get a little bit more used to some of the more advanced units. So thank you so much. Love all you guys. Appreciate the support. Enjoy. Mwah. And I'm really psyched for Homeworld 3, but in the meantime, I'm going to really savor and enjoy Deserts of Kharak playthrough. This was part 3, and see you soon for part 4. Peace out.